I respond, I could be wrong, but I expect the endgame to hit and the dollar to die before the start of the next geological epoch. Hey guys, Raf here from the Endgame Investor. Today I'm going to do something new that I've never done before. I'm going to respond to negative comments, some semi-ignorant comments. I don't not appreciate these. I want to monetize my haters and Tom Wood's advice, and I'm going to try to do that now. Some of these comments aren't so bad. It's just me clarifying things, but a lot of them have to do with anger that I am promoting the dirty man safe because they think it's stupid. Not everyone thinks it's stupid. I've had some very positive remarks about it. And I wanted to open this video with gold confiscation. Why do I have a dirty man safe? Why do I recommend that people have a dirty man safe? Because I don't know if there's going to be gold confiscation, but if there is going to be gold confiscation, it's going to proceed in the following manner. First of all, if the government sees that the dollar really is collapsing and the prices of gold and silver are going up and up and up, limit up every single day, and they see that they cannot extract any more purchasing power from the inflationary process, they know they are doomed. So what do? They confiscate gold, which FDR did in 1933, but exactly how? FDR did it because he was able to do it because he was in a deflationary period there, where the dollar had still had an official link to gold and an official gold standard, and there was still a lot of patriotism going around in the 1930s. And the executive order was pretty much voluntary. People were voluntarily coerced, if you could say that, into giving the gold up in exchange for $21 an ounce because they needed cash and they had gold, so they gave it in a hyperinflationary scenario, it's not going to be that easy for the government to confiscate. So it's not going to be that scenario where people are going to want dollars when the dollar is collapsing. In 1933, the dollar wasn't collapsing. It was rising in purchasing power because of the deflationary forces, because the Fed couldn't inflate because it was still on a gold standard. But now they're still going to need gold. So what are they going to do? Well, if you're the government and you're running out of money and the dollar isn't working anymore, you're going to go after the centralized supplies of gold and silver first, which are the ETFs. How much money would it cost the government to take over the ETFs and just pilfer their storage and just take the physical that's in there? It would be instant. They'd just do it in executive order. The government would take it, and that would be it. It would cost almost nothing, which is why I recommend not to rely on ETFs for the end game, for end game purposes. I don't have a problem with people trading them if they like to trade or want to increase their dollar holdings, but no, it's not going to protect you. None of these ETFs are going to protect you in the end game. But confiscating the ETFs is the first thing they will do. What's the second thing they'll do? The second thing they'll do is they'll confiscate gold and silver from the banks, from the member banks of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve could just issue an edict if that's even possible, or the Treasury could in the name of the Fed, or whatever. However it's going to work out legally, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to confiscate all the physical gold of the banks, of Bank of America, JP Morgan, whatever they have. They're just going to take them, and they can do that because it's already centralized. It's easy to do it. They can do it first, ask questions later, go through the legal process, and worry about that later. But those are the easiest things to do. The third thing that they will do, the third easiest thing to do, is to confiscate private holdings that are held in safety deposit boxes in commercial banks, like Bank of America. If you hold gold or silver in a safety deposit box in a commercial bank, they're going to take that too because it's very easy. They control the banks. And the fourth thing they will do, which is harder to do because it's more decentralized, it will require more manpower, is to pilfer the physical stocks of private companies or mining companies or a private vault, which would require a lot more manpower and a lot more court battles. It'd be very difficult to do. I'm not denying that they won't try it. I'm not saying that they won't try it. But the hardest thing that they'll do, that they could possibly go into people's backyards or I don't recommend burying everything in your backyard. I certainly did not do that because I have a YouTube channel and I want to broadcast this. So, you know, spread things around, different people I trust. It's one of those paradoxes. Like if you promote this stuff, like what are you going to do? You can't keep totally secret. I just have to rely on my assumption that if it comes to the point where government is going to be so desperate that they've taken the ETFs, they've taken the banks, gold and silver, they've taken private vaults, they've taken safety deposit boxes and then private vaults is number four. They're going to go after people wherever they buried their gold and silver. What are they going to do? Question them? I mean, how much manpower is this going to take? It's going to take a lot. and it's going to cost a lot of money to go after what is probably the lowest supplies, the smallest supplies of gold and silver that they could even come up with, right? The risk return, the return on investment in trying to get people to reveal where their stacks are, wherever they buried them, is ridiculous. It's not going to happen. So I'm not saying it's a 0% chance it's going to happen, but if it comes to the point where the government gets that desperate, they're not going to have the money to go after these small stockpiles, these retail sizes of gold and silver. They're going to go after the centralized supplies. That's the point. So if you want a dirty man safe, yeah, is it possible that they could find it and locate it and they know everything? Well, yeah, sure, but it's the least likely that they will search in your property for stuff that you've buried in your property or behind in some field somewhere, mark it on a map, on a topographical map, or leave it with a friend, whatever it is. With that in mind, if you do want a dirty man safe, give it to your gold bug friend for Christmas or the holidays or whatever it is, New Year's, then go to dirtymansafe.com and use the code NGAME10 at checkout for 10% off. I'd really appreciate it. And if you think it's stupid, then don't buy one. Anyway, let's go into the comments and my fun responses to them. Okay, so we have this comment from Chris Happy So Far 2090, yet all in caps. Yet another YT creator trying to sell crap that no one needs. Does anyone honestly believe that the governments of the world don't know everything that we have? We will find a way to extort what they want, be whatever means they choose. So I respond, what? Type louder. We can't hear you. Speak up.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
Governments don't know everything. They know a lot, but at the time that they're going bankrupt, they're going to be filled with a lot of idiots and not going to have the manpower to dig up everyone's yard. Oh, here's another one about the dirty man. They're not all about the dirty man save, but okay. How much could this save cost by paying you to dupe your viewers and to watch a commercial? Paid endorsement. So put up the paid endorsement banner like you're supposed to. It's always the religious guys that put their thumb on the scale. Well, first of all, they don't pay me to endorse them. I'm an affiliate. It's not a paid upfront endorsement. So I don't put the card up when I'm only doing an affiliate. You will notice that I did put the card up this time because this is sponsored by wealthresearchgroup.com, where Wealth Research Group is offering a free 2024 Epic Bull Market research report on gold and silver miners. The link will be in the description below at wealthresearchgroup.com. And I do own gold and silver miners. The reason is not that I want to earn more dollars by owning gold and silver miners. The reason is that in the end game, as the dollar collapses, the only companies that will be able to pay in real money will be gold and silver miners because they're the only ones that literally make money. All other companies that report their profits in dollar terms, well, they're going to have accounting problems when the dollar no longer works. And they're going to have to get their hands on some gold, which is why gold mining stocks will do spectacularly once the Fed starts printing again. And we all know that they have already pivoted towards a pivot. They've already changed their stance to a rate cut stance, which was the last FOMC meeting. And that's why gold and silver and platinum and palladium and all the precious metals exploded higher. This is going to get much worse when the reverse repos run out, and we are about 2 months away from that, as I wrote in the Endgame Investor. And just like we saw in the 1930s, once the Fed starts printing again, it is the gold and silver mining stocks that outperform all others because all other companies need what the gold and silver miners produce. Go to wealthresearchgroup.com to download your free report on why 2024 will be the year. Anyway, let's continue with the mean comments. I responded to this guy who didn't like my commercial. Sponsorships pay up front. I am an affiliate. Apparently, you think trade is immoral, like every Marxist before you. It's always the idiots that put their thumbs up their asses.
Thumbs up their asses. Thumbs up their asses.
You see what I did there? It's always the religious guys that put their thumb on the scale, he says. So yeah, I responded.
You gonna stand there with your thumb up your butt?
Thumb up my butt sounds better.
This is a comment that I got a day ago on my interview with Peter Schiff. This guy, Charles Savoie, says Schiff is a significant figure. Farber came out of nowhere and rocketed across the horizon like a comet, only because of Chris Markup, puffing him up into an Olympian god.
In Greece, it was commonly held that one could speak to the gods from the top of Mount Olympus.
Yes, Peter, Greece is polytheistic.
Quick, Peter, say something so he thinks you know what he's talking about. Words.
Yeah, you get it.
He is a greasy, chiseling peddler, nothing more. You haven't fooled all of us. Well, I am pretty chiseled. But I respond here, Olympian gods aren't real. I am. Therefore, I am infinitely bigger than an Olympian god, which is mathematically true because an Olympian god is zero and I exist. Therefore, existence divided by zero is infinity. Here's another one. This one's great. I love this one. Rafi, learn basics of geology. Earth soil is moving constantly, just like water. Buried things will change its position on few years. I respond, I could be wrong, but I expect the endgame to hit and the dollar to die before the start of the next geological epoch. Ooh, we'll see on my timing on that one. That one's really bold.
Wait!
Oh, stupid jerk!
He's alive!
Hey!
Bender, what was it like lying in that hole for 1,000 years?
I was enjoying it until you guys showed up.
This guy wants to argue with me about money, so he uses that hackneyed analogy that if you go to a store and try to use gold and silver, they won't take it, but if you use dollars, they'll take it. So he says, I totally agree with you and anyone that touts the value of gold and silver as a store of value, but you and all gold bugs totally lose me when you say that gold is money. Take a gold or silver coin to your local grocery store, gas station, car dealer, drugstore, pet store, fast food restaurant, you name it, and try to buy something with it. And 100% of them will tell you to come back when you have actual money. The only thing that is money is something one can use to buy things with. Gold and silver fail miserably in that function. Well, what he does not understand is that the only reason that the dollar can be used as a money or a money substitute, or really a gold is a derivative of money, is that it is a derivative of money. So I respond here as I respond to all people who use this bad analogy. Take dollars to your local grocery store, gas station, car dealer, drugstore, pet store, fast food restaurant, and you name it, and try to buy something with them when they can no longer be exchanged for gold at all. And 100% of them will tell you to come back when you have actual money.
Seteleitä. Isoja. Kiitos.
The only reason you can use the dollar in stores today is because it is still exchangeable for gold. The minute it isn't, you cannot, and you will need to use gold and silver directly. More likely silver in a retail setting. I don't think you'll be able to use gold in a retail setting much. You'll have to use that to buy a car or a house or a business or farmland or whatever, but silver will be the retail coin that you will need for retail purchases. That's all for today for Rafi's response to mean or semi-ignorant comments on YouTube. If you want to be featured in another video like this, please write me an ignorant or stupid comment, and I will feature it here maybe in a few weeks if I'm up to it. In the meantime, have a good week. Enjoy your endgame. God bless. And have a Happy New Year, everyone, and a Merry Christmas to those who are celebrating.